Hello, good evening, SM viewers. This is Satellite Media. If you are new to the channel, kindly like, share, subscribe, and please do not forget to hit the notification bell. Wonder the search shall never end. This time around, we are looking at alarm raised by residents of a community in Katsina State of a suspected helicopter dropping bandits who reportedly went shooting people shortly after they were dropped. I will like to watch the video for you to have a sense of what we are discussing. But before I play the video, let me even bring in some of those news to even show that this is not the first time we are seeing such. This one is from the Punch newspaper. Of course, their handle on Twitter. It says helicopter dropped weapons for my boss inside forest. This is coming from a suspected bandit. Of course, I think the person was arrested, but in reaction, Nigerians are already saying something about this. Is it the Air Force again? Enugu residents lamented this same thing. Helicopters dropping arms to killer henchmen stroke bandits. Let me equally get another area where I think that the one from Katsina, to be precise, said that we have a sense of what we are discussing before I play that video of a helicopter spotted in somewhere, though the location cannot be ascertained, where it was delivering some things to people in the bush. This one is from Sahara Reporters, saying exclusive 10 killed in Katsina community by bandits. Residents vow were dropped by army green helicopter. That we cannot verify the nature of the aircraft that helicopter that dropped it, but we have account of residents who actually spoke in Hausa, claiming that they were bandits actually were dropped by helicopter. But let me play the video I was talking about of a helicopter actually dropping some delivery for some people in the bush. We cannot independently verify where that one actually happened, but watch it. come back. At this point, I think there are many angles to this. Because this is not the first time, the second time, or the third time we'll be hearing this type of allegation of bandits, or rather suspected killer henchmen being dropped in the bushes or forests by suspected helicopters. But the point here is the government must take this seriously, because there's another angle to it that has to do with people who are doing illegal mining, of course, getting supply and sponsorship from foreigners. And I think what is happening in Burkina Faso is an eye-opener to Nigeria, because even with all the gold reserve you have in Burkina Faso and all that the people, all the mining that have been taking place in that country, the current president, talking about Ibrahim Traoré, made it even very clear that Burkina Faso have no single gold reserve. Not until he became the president, of course, he started developing one. So what we are saying is, even if Nigeria is, you have foreigners who are mining gold here, of course, it behoves on the government to regulate the mining. It behoves on the government to give license to people before they even get access to mining. And we should realize that this is natural resources that belongs to the federal government, just as you have it in the southern part of the country, of course, majorly in the south, where crude is the pride of the nation, and of course, it's the mainstay of Nigerian economy, and Nigerian government leverage on it. And every month, you see state governments going to Abuja to collect what they claim belongs to them through federal allocation. So, in the same vein, Nigeria as an entity should leverage on any other solid mineral in the north, for that matter, for the good of everyone. If, because they say what is source for the goose is equally source for the gander. You cannot be using the crude alone to service everybody, and all we hear in the north is that you have foreigners who collaborate with locals to mine solid minerals at the expense of the state where this thing happens, and even at the expense of the country. So I think that is not acceptable, and the government, as a matter of urgency and necessity, must look into it. Then the other angle of banditry, or rather some allegation of some persons having intention and plan to Islamize the country through all these issue of banditry, I think the government must still rise to the occasion. We have seen the government recently talking about forest guard. Of course, that each state should recruit up to between 2,000 and 5,000, depending on their financial capacity to pay. And what was lacking in the past was the ability of such security arrangement to be armed. Because we understand that it is the office of the National Security Advisor that has the power to give an NSA certificate to anyone who is preparing to procure arms for the purpose of securing lives and property at that level. And under the last administration of Muhammadu Buhari, we understand that all effort from state governments, particularly those of Southwest, who successfully established Amateku through the respective act of houses of assembly in the region, they were not allowed to bear arms because they could not do that until they get an NSA certificate from the Office of the National Security Advisor, and that they could not get under the administration of Muhammadu Buhari. I could remember Akere Lulu then, may so rest in peace, of Ondo State, who was always echoing it, even asking federal government under Muhammadu Buhari, that if civilian JTF in the north can be armed, that what prevents Amateku from bearing arms. But now that we have a different person in the saddle, talking about Senator Ahmed Bola Tinubu, of course, a Southwesterner, a Southern president, I think he should do things differently. I don't want to believe some of the narrative out there that the people who intend to Islamize the country are powerful. I cannot believe that they are powerful more than the government, talking about the federal government, that have comparative advantage to any other person in the country. And what they normally call non-state actors, I don't think they should have the capacity to hold everybody to ransom like as we are seeing currently. So it is on that basis I was very interested when they talk about the forest guard. And of course, I think I salute the courage of the current Director General of DSS, talking about Ajayi, who made it very clear recently that communities should be enlisted in this security architecture, particularly when it comes to invasion of communities by bandits, whether Fulani, military, whatever nomenclature they go by, that the communities should be the first line of defense. I think I go by that, but however, They need training. They need to be armed to have the capacity to do that. So at this point, let us go to the street to bring you the reaction of Nigerians sequel to this issue and under discussion. Oluwa one of Oba. I want you to react. We are in the public getting opinion of Nigerians. I want you to react to a viral video that captured moment a helicopter dropped in a bush to give bandits some materials. But apart from this, we are seeing conventional statements or rather accounts of some persons from Katsina who made it very clear that a helicopter dropped in their neighborhood, and before I knew it, they dropped bandits who later started shooting, and before I know it, about 10 persons were unalive in that environment. But let me get a reaction.
See, first and foremost, God will bless you for that question. See, we're in Nigeria, we're in a situation whereby nothing is working anymore. You see, the seat of power, they know everything concerning this situation. See, there was a time in my state, in Awuchi, that is Edo State, a hunter inside a forest. He was amazed when he saw a helicopter, just like what just said, helicopter dropping full stop, dropping arms. Then he now went and reported to the police station. See what is happening. The police now said he should write statement, full scarf statement. He should write full scarf statement. How did he store it? How did they decide? Well, see, the language was controversial, so he fed up.
Does it mean this situation is above Jagaba himself?
See, Jagaba is a person from the Lagos State governor, now a Lion of Godilon, now from Lion of Godilon to Jagaba, now is a president. See, there's a document written before he become a president. You see, he knows it. See, let me be sincere with us. A former president of Nigeria, now late, the name of Sani Abacha, said, any insurgencies that last more than a year, they are involved. The government is involved. Let us be frank, speaking the truth. Say, the truth will set you free, and the truth is the reality. See, the government, the high-profile government officials, they are involved. See what the governor of Borno State just said, a week ago. He said, high politician and army, they are involved. But where are they not supposed to be eliminated from those group of Nigeria? You see, the bad egg, Nigeria know the bad egg among the military heritage. You see, the reality that will make Nigeria a peaceful home is for Nigeria to speak the truth and eliminate those elements, those bad elements inside the government of Nigeria, because they are there. The day of Malami, they say the sponsor, they will give Nigeria the name of the sponsor. Where is the sponsor there?
And Jonathan shouted in his time that there are Boko Haram
in his government. Can you imagine a president telling the whole world that inside my cabinet there are Boko Haram? Okay, at that time till now, it's almost 12 or 15 years going. There is no any name. And say, okay, this is name. Let us remove him, or let us eliminate their network. They have a network. They are breeding every day. And they are eating fat.
The problem is that the other time, I think Saudi Arabian government, United Arab Emirates, said they listed some names of terrorism financiers in Nigeria. Of course, a list they share with Nigerian government. But up to date, it's not a record that Nigerian government.
And that is what we are telling you, that what is really happening in Nigeria is Nigeria.
It's Nigeria.
It's government. Because government swear an oath to protect the life and property of the citizen. But where is the promise? You see, they keep it away because they know their agenda. Their agenda is to Islamize Nigeria if care is not taken. So, but the only question and the solution, everybody should go his own way.
We are talking about division.
Division will be the best option.
So Igbo should go their own.
Igbo go. Hausa go, Yoruba go. And Hausa now believe that they can't allow anybody to go, because they want to dominate everywhere. They want to make sure say they press us down and become their slave, and they now rule according to what they want to rule. See, they are clean every day. You go come to the newspaper, we don't see that today, tomorrow, next tomorrow. They kill people every day. Who are those killing people? Those are the people that we are talking Boko Haram. They are Islamic people. Can you imagine? Helicopter drop them. Under 10 minutes shooting. Okay, where is our surveillance? Where is the CCTV that they say they brought? Ammunition, intelligent equipment. What is really happening to Nigeria? Because one day you hear say they don't kidnap us. They will kidnap president.
They don't kidnap us.
One day you will hear that reality.
There was actually a suicide bomber who attempted to detonate a bomb in a military barrack in Abuja. That was yesterday. And of course, the person could not achieve it. The bomb detonated and it killed the person involved.
Okay, can you imagine? Okay, detonated and they kill the person involved. Next time, see, let us do the right thing. Let us do the needful. The needful is the hand of the government. The government is sincere enough. I don't think we'll be hearing of this whole story. This story has become a really reliable story that they now have a foundation, and the foundation is strong. It's like the government of the day is not capable of eliminating those mafias. Okay, because they have a purpose. They can't be discriminating and killing Nigeria every day on daily basis without no revenge. Can you imagine? No revenge. A whole most populous black nation on earth. They have the highest sophisticated weapon. They have the capacity. They have the money. They have everything. But at the end of the day, when they look at that security situation, they dive away.
Okay, now Lua, let us